it's a Tuesday morning. Welcome to Mansfield Today. Nice to have you with us. And as usual on the Tuesdays, we take a look at things legal with Advocate Lance Brogden. Lance, nice to have you in the studio again.
Good to be here, Jim.
Yeah.
How's the weekend?
Yeah, chilled.
Chilled,
Yeah.
Good
Yours?
for you. Yeah, same. Yeah, good. A little bit of sport, a little bit of family. All good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Did you play squash again this weekend?
I did, and I had my butt handed to me on a plate by my wife. As one does.
Let's go into why. It's one of the questions that has come up, Lance. Why it's so difficult to get matters resolved in South African courts of law? Is it fair to say that it's difficult to get conclusion to legal matters in this country?
Jeremy, absolutely. I'm part of the legal system, and I support our system, and I support the rule of law, but it's extremely tardy and slow. Now, I'm not just pointing back, Jim, to the period of COVID, which around the world made a lot of things difficult. We fortunately got some of the stuff done on Zooms and Teams and various virtual models, but we really sit in a situation where it's too slow, it's drawn out, it's tardy, there are ongoing postponements, and I believe it could be slicker and better. So yes, the perception is, I think, fair. I think we really don't push hard enough, too many breaks, and too much latitude given.
What is it that drives that perception?
Okay, well, the first thing is, let us say one has a matter where you're confident, somebody owes you money, you're a creditor, and then instead of saying, well, here's the invoice, you signed for it, let's go ahead and settle the bill and have what we would call in the military a summary trial. No, it's got to go through a procedure of summonsing, proving that you demanded payment. Then if the person disagrees, yeah, but I didn't exactly got what I asked for, I'm unhappy. Then it comes to a phase of where you have discovery, discover all the documents and what really happened. Then you have the next phase of pre-trial. And all of those have times in between them, 7 working days, 10 working days. And if you are supposed to put your documents in and you don't, there's latitude allowed for you to then be forced to put your documents in. There's another 20 days. So when that all happens, it is extremely frustrating for somebody who sees in front of them a very simple matter on a simple case. And it does frustrate the hell out of everybody, Jim. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Let alone divorce cases for years, just on a small matter, that you're waiting for documents and the other party keeps on getting permission to get the documents through.
What really then drags these things out?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. One, the system itself and the latitude allowed. The reason why the system says it's allowed to do it is to give everybody a fair chance to be represented. So we accept that. But on the other hand, though, I think we as litigants who get involved, I'm not talking about the legal side, let's just talk about the parties involved, are also slow. You are frustrated. But sometimes as well, I'll be honest with you, your client only gives you what they think you need to do the matter. They only give you just enough they think what's relevant. And they are right to a degree, but you need it all. And then it's back and forth with documents and disclosure documents and explain that document. So I think to accelerate, one of the things is have it all on the table, whether it be a matrimonial matter, whether it be a child access matter, whether it be a criminal matter, whether it be a normal civil litigation matter, put it all. So as on both sides, we draw things out. And also as human beings, honestly, even if we know we're in the right, we don't enjoy the whole process. People who enjoy litigation and are litigious by nature, it's not normal. You get them, but they're not normal. We don't like it. We just want to get this crap behind us. We don't want to have our heads in. So we all, myself included, don't want to go through this. And that also slows it down quite a bit.
What can you do to help accelerate the process?
Well, the first thing, as I said, Jim, and I think this is critical, is put everything on the table. Put the dirty washing there as well. Then it's there to be asked and answered. 2, don't be litigious. If it's a very minor matter, try and get somebody else, get the legal system out of it, get somebody, even if it is a legal person, to speak to yourself and the other party and find a happy medium to settle. I'll tell you why. If you think about in COVID, the number of people who lost jobs, the number of homes that were destroyed, the number of families, businesses, especially entertainment industry, food and beverage took a massive beating. So there's a lot of money that you think they owe you, and they do owe it to you, but they don't have it. Try and find happy medium. Try and mediate. Try that first, because once you start the legal process and the summons is issued, there's first a letter of demand, then the summons, and it rolls and rolls and rolls. It's a very expensive exercise. And then you follow the rules, the rules of court and the rules of law. And there's so many days and so many weeks. If you don't, you get another opportunity to do it. So I think that the accelerate is, and perhaps one other thing, before I forget, is we brought that up a couple of months ago, Jim, and you said, when I said to you, what would make you, how do you decide which lawyer to go for? And Jeremy was right. He said, find out, ask around, get the right lawyer for the right job. You could have a most amazing matrimonial attorney who handles law of persons, etc., and she's an absolute star. And you have an issue on a copyright, or an issue on, it's not a copyright, that's far more simple, but on an author's right, or something really, really special. Ask her, who should I go and see? Don't say, listen, you're really good in my divorce, you're going to help me now. Get the right person that's been through it, and actually will tell you up front, but you don't have a case here. Or you do, but this is the way to go about it. So those are the two things. Get everything on the table, but two, use the right people for the job.
Am I allowed to ask this question? Do lawyers drag things out for invoicing purposes?
Okay, so I like to believe no. We have a code, and so here's how one sorts that question out and offers the answer. One, when you negotiate with your legal representatives, you might have a lawyer, he's dealing or she's dealing with an advocate, or not, or you might have a group, depending on the matter. Get your numbers up front. This is how I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge 2,000 an hour, but I'm going to charge you in quarter-hour chunks, or whatever it may be. But have that clear. Also, you're allowed to ask, and they do give you a breakdown of exactly, we spent so many hours on this, so many hours perusing that, so many hours reading that. Another thing that helps is you do a lot of the work yourself. Some people just say, here's the big box of stuff, like they do with their auditors, sort these slips out. Don't do that. Do the stuff yourself. Summarize what happened. This is the events that happened. These are the documents that led to this situation. Do a lot yourself, so you'll save a lot of money there. You are allowed to question, and you are allowed to have the accounts looked at and visited, and do so if you feel it's unreasonable. But number one, sort it out early. Number two, very importantly, do a lot of the work yourself. You're the one who has the information and the knowledge. I know you don't always have time, and one doesn't want to. It is very stressful. But you'd be surprised how much money it saves you, and I think that's the way to go about it.
Why, last question here, Lance, why does it seem that so many, specifically criminal matters, get thrown out of court? Is that just my perception, or is it a reality?
No. I think, Jeremy, it's a reality. And he says so many, I think there are so many. So let me just touch on a few things. There are two parts to it. The one is, as opposed to a normal civil matter, the matter has to be, the proof has to be beyond reasonable doubt. As opposed to in a civil matter where it's on a balance of probabilities, Jem, you're right, I'm wrong. But in a criminal matter, you've got to have your ducks squared away. So when you get to that point, there are a couple of things. There's the information, what happened, the detail, getting all that together. And that's in the hands of the criminal matter, in the hands of the police services and the public prosecutor, and that engine does all that. So even in that, if you're the one who has been badly done by, get all the stuff together. If they don't have a complete file, Jim, and the stuff isn't all there, they're going to have a half-cocked case, okay? And we know where that ends up. That ends up being the magistrate or the judge saying, you know what, I'm not in the mood for this. You don't have enough evidence here. That's the one part. The second part of it is the courts are pretty packed now. They're full. It's heavy lifting, especially the magistrates, actually all the courts, regional magistrates, high court. So they tend to look at the matters that are more heavy and more serious, which you can understand in a way. But it doesn't matter that your and my matter, that, you know, we went to the pub the other day, we each ordered 6 beers, and you had 7 and I had 5, and now we're arguing over that. You know, and then you punched me. So now we have a criminal matter here. Okay, you assaulted me. So it's de minimis. It's not. However, it is a matter, and in some people's worlds, it becomes a big matter. So first aside is really a big matter, and it's worth one. When you follow through. Make sure you have all the information, all the detail. If it was a car accident, if it was an attack, an assault, an insult, whatever, make sure you have your stuff together. Therefore, the prosecutor will accelerate and get the matter done. But also, as I said, they're stretched. A lot of stuff will go to the side into a bottom file, which I'd rather they said up front, listen, but haven't got time for your crap. It's over and done with. But they don't. They take it, and the CAS number's opened, and you follow up, and you try to phone the police station and say, how are we going? And nobody answers the phone very often. Or somebody says, we'll get back to you. So where's Inspector Jones? And, well, we don't know. He'll be around sometime. Will he phone me back? Yeah, he'll phone you back. He's not going to phone you back, likely. So the perception from the beginning is right, Jeremy. It needs to be accelerated. But I think we, as those getting involved from the outside, need to be more involved, get the ducks in a row.
Thank you, Lance. Very
Thanks, Jim.
interesting.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
And just as an aside, if I did punch you, you would have a problem.
Yeah, I know, because I'd have to pay for have your fists reset. Thanks, Jim. Have a great week, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with The Medical Show with Dr. Vicky Skitter. And she's talking to an occupational therapist tomorrow, which could be very interesting TV. So join us then. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.